And welcome on in, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6, Week 6 matchup between the Lancelot Lancers and the Quantico Quails. I'll be booting and joining me today is going to be Neptune. And Neptune, we have a fairly interesting game ahead of us here. You know, the Quails, very high up in the power rankings. The Lancers getting their first victory last week. So, honestly, we're in, you know, kind of a weird situation with the Lancers. They won off a Ryan mirror, so do we see normal comps they kind of falter at the hands of the Quails are a strong team so far? Or do they take that win and get some momentum going in here? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, confidence is always the name of the game. You know, once we win a game, it's smooth sailing from there, but Quails, this is going to be a very difficult task for the Lancers here.
So we can go ahead and take a quick look over at our starting rosters for Map 1, and kind of just what we've been seeing the whole time with both these teams throughout the seasons. The Quails going to be starting off with a fairly strong look with Skycer, Elko, Rue, Sakana, and Paradox. We do have EJ actually going to be ringing for Sakana here. So there'll be a bit of a change here for the Quails in the starting lineup with Cry on the bench. And I like what we've been saying, Elko, following up his MVP championship season, is still looking like a very strong contender here for those awards in the season.
100% agree. It's going to be a massive challenge for the Lancers to take on the Quails, and I'm really expecting some sort of like monkey comp still, right? I think this map is like a map that we can see it some on for the some of these sub points, but with like capping in the main lineup on that tank, it just seems like it's going to be like a Rhine kind of brawl versus whatever the Quails feel will counter that.
And now looking over at the Lancers, like you said, Cat started on the tank, Invictus, Dawnweiler, DPS, and Nathan Rustagoomba. Do not let the roster screen fool you. We do not have a Mercy on tank and 2 Winstons on support. That's just sadly how we have this all set up. We are going into the first map, which is going to be Samoa, which kind of like we've been saying, you know, Control is a very good point for potentially the Rhine look from the Lancers. We know they've been playing a lot of that Cat Rhine on these Koth points because she can, you know, play that more brawly style, and I wonder what we see going further in the series. We see Nathan go back over onto his main role of tank or stick with this, but I'm expecting a Jungle Queen out from Skycer here and Cat, probably the Reinhardt. And do you have a favorable matchup there between the Queen and the Reinhardt? Actually, be a Ramatra, so I don't know the answer, but I'll let you explain why.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, depending on how this goes, it's going to be really hard for Cat to get onto anyone. They got to like make sure they go really fast with these angles from Dong and Invictus. And as for Queen, it's really just about like the tempo and just keeping it up and smashing them in. But we are seeing this Ramatra versus Ryan, so just see how that's gonna go.
Now is Invictus gonna stick on this Echo? Looks like he will. We saw it last week in their first victory, and he looked really good. Looked like kind of a prime proper, you know, known for that hit scan prowess, but pulling out the Echo and potentially showing, you know, the birth of a new Invictus, potentially a hyperflex look coming up from him now if this Echo continues to be strong. We do have the Juno and the Aurora comp with the Ryan here for Ryan, but Elko starts off early with the Sonic Arrow headshot over on Nathan. Skycer taking advantage of the space, walking heavily here. We do still have, a bit of a wall from Rue is going to lock down Cat, and yeah, those 2 quick kills are probably going to have the Lance be sent back to spawn as a great start for the DPS here from the Quails.
Yeah, and the great thing about the Quails comp, they just be able to like play for the spam. And arguably, I think they have better spam, especially with like Elko on this Hanzo just being on his signature, one of his signature heroes, to be able to just find those picks like we saw.
Skycer taking down that pylon early, so a huge cooldown already wasted here. Skycer just trying to hold the space for a second. We do have Invictus and Nathan poking out from his off angle. Bit of a burn, going to land over onto the tank for Skycer to back up for 5 seconds. Cat finds EJ, so a huge early pick here from the Reinhardt, taking down that main support, and now Skycer's going to go aggressively in the back when they exchange out for Rustagoomba, so the supports are in an awkward spot, but Dawnweiler's found the off angle inside as they are cleaning up the brawl inside with Nathan lighting on the kill feed on the Aurora, and now it's just Elko. 1 HP in a dream, actually make that 6, my bad, but looks like he will start to retreat as the point flips right back over.
And Elko just dominates Invictus there to quickly allow the Quails to retake this point, surely. And another thing is just like that previous fight, they just need to play a lot more for their spam and just kind of their angles. It seems like EJ was a little bit too front forward that Dong was able to find like them in the crossfire.
And yeah, the point is going to flip there, about 20% here for the Lancers as the Quails. Skycer going aggressive here, trying to build it towards that Annihilation, about 20% away from that one. Rue lobbing in those Icicles, 10% towards the Blizzard. Could be a fight deciding here. But the pin from Cat again finds EJ. First pick in 2 fights in a row here from the Baptiste. You do have a lot of ultimate ready to go here from the Quails, however, both DPS ready to unleash. The shadow comes out, but it's a big one, lands around on Skyster, but Elko is lighting them up with the bow. Headshot mid-duplicate onto Invictus. Skyster does fall. The beat out from Peric doesn't land over on Elko, so can't peek too aggressively here. Here comes the Captain Sun out from Nathan, light up Elko, trying to find some pressure on the Hounds. The point hasn't flipped just yet. The wall comes out, just kind of isolate Elko in the little area. Paradox does get back for the support. EJ has turned the battle, but loses out in Child, and EJ again falls. 2 quick kills once again here for the Lancers. The point still in favor of the Quails, but looks like not for long. As Dongwagger has the bob to the need. Here comes Skyster with Annihilation with the Nemesis 4 and trying to get as many percent on point as possible. Here's Paradox dodging those shots from Dongwagger, but not along for this world. Elko throws the Dragon Strike, forces Dongwagger just use that coach. And off the big shatter from Cat, they're going to flip the point.
I'm not a big fan of Elko committing that after Skyster essentially just called it off, you know? Like, Skyster had that ultimate, and it was very clear that he wasn't using it, so just getting reset and like being able to have dragons for this retake would have been so beneficial. But either way, I still expect the Quails to have an easy fight here. All you gotta do is open with this window, brawl with this Skyster ult,
but
and
EJ again! EJ first to fall, Annihilation popped over on the point, but the Bob was just poking him in through the backline here. Dongwagger's Bob does eventually go down, but Dongwagger finds a kill from the Skyster. So you lose out on that Bob, but you get 2 quick kills for your team, and a disastrous turn of events here for the Quails as they might have just have thrown this.
Yeah, they definitely threw. They really just rushed into that fight where all they had to do is just kind of play a little bit slower, allow for them to develop their angle and pull, like, you know, like their push like normally. But they really rush out into the kill box of the Lancers.
And now you're walking into an orbital array, which will allow Cat to go so aggressively here, potentially build up another shatter for last fight territory here. We're going to lose that pylon from Nathan as the fight really breaks out here. Invictus is close to duplicate, but the blizzard over onto Cat. Cat is going to get taken down and frozen. Invictus with duplicate over on towards that again, or onto the Hanzo, and lose it almost immediately as the huge blizzard from Rue clutches it out here for the Quails. It appears as there's a last second clutch once again from that May, and they really needed that.
Yeah. And all the Quails gotta do is just go into the Lancer spawn and just prevent this touch, and it seems like no one will be able to touch here.
Yeah, the slow run to Cat, she's just trying to get there, but then just will get the last second touch. Dongwagger swaps over onto the Sombra to help the team. Captain Sun is close, but Paradox gonna have this beat. Hack over onto EJ, but will survive this time. The beat just to stop this Cap from getting too much value. And yeah, the kills are finally coming through for the Quails as they're gonna clean this one up. Elko once again on the Hanzo. I mean, we've seen the changes to Hanzo with the kind of muscle memory changes, but it appears Elko has no problem learning the new one.
Yeah, I know, like, when I'm like going into like practice range testing out Hanzo, it feels so weird with the charge up, but it's so nice to have like somewhat old Hanzo back now. And we're seeing it now, like Elko's just putting in this work on that character.
And now we're going towards City Center here, and sticking on the brawl, it appears for both teams. Is Skyster playing the cringe counter Cat composition here, knowing that really she only plays Reinhardt on the tank? I'm not sure. I know that Skyster, you know, quote-unquote, self-proclaimed, I should say, monkey one-trick. Not going to be running that here. Rusty Goomba swaps to Lucio. Let's see if they can stick with that one. Dongwagger actually going to be going over to the far. So double flyer comp here for the Lancers, trying to put some more pressure probably onto Elko and Rue, knowing they didn't have a hard hit scan counter.
Yeah. I mean, at least for me, in my opinion, I love the Quails comp a lot more. This double flex flyer will be very annoying to deal with, but with Elko, how we saw in that first neutral, it was like very easy for them to shut them down. So I'm wondering how this approach is going to go for them here.
Dongwagger does have a pretty nice angle here on the Mega side towards, we do notice this form from Skyster going in, but EJ once again falls in 2 quick kills for the Flyers in the sky. As the Quails is trying to stop as much point progress as it possibly can. But a clean engage there from the pincer maneuver from the skies, from the Lancers, and are we going to see any swaps coming out from the Quails?
And there we go. We go kind of more like a traditional. Oh. I even like this though. Like, I love the Diva look. I would have loved to even see Elko switch off to more of that hit scan to two-tap these flyers out of the sky, but this is gonna like help them a lot, just being able to like chase down people, and like we saw, just forcing that far angle, allowing Elko to work his way up left side here.
Invictus and Dawnwagger both falling very low, but the Mega is gamed here by the Pharah. Dawnwagger nice and healthy once again. And Paradox is first to fall. The support line from the Quails is getting picked really early in all these fights, it appears. And it appears they might have found the Quails' sort of quote-unquote weakness here, as Cat and this team is going so aggressive on these supports and just taking names right now on the City Center, and there's really no answers right now for the Quails.
Yeah, I mean, Alco goes straight to side. I think it's gonna help him a lot, just being able to find this backline. But I feel like it's very hard to find that backline with Cat being such a nuisance and forcing the Quails to go through them here.
Now Invictus here with a duplicate playing over towards this side over on to the coast. Gonna get that Mega, has duplicate should they need. I mean, Skycer going all in on this Echo when she had Fly. And now it's in a really tough spot, just trying to fly on away. Paradox also in a tough position, but Roasting falls mid-cast of the over to Ray. Dawnwagger solo barrages the Lucio. So it's an exchange on supports. The point flips into chaos, but Elko's already down. And Skyster 1 HP over on this mech. Can Invictus build a duplicate beat? It doesn't look like he will, but it's going heavily in on this Ashe. Is going to find the kill. And yeah, do they get a free 15 or so percent for the Quails? They're going to flip it right back over. And just the duplicate, just the over to Ray, they do barrage, but still some ults here, and it's last fight territory.
Yeah, I'm loving the Quails approach. It's just really unfortunate it took multiple fights to find this kind of comp. Now, like, we have like no ultimates really going to this fight. We have to take it slow. And Nathan gets to just open with this the Sun and as well as the Shatter too.
Yeah, Cat is just trying to build that last couple of percent here with his Flame Strike, but she just can't quite get it. Looking for the Diva in the pin, not going to land in. The TP on the EJ, but the Soul Shatter on the Kiriko, and Elko is down as well. Cat finds both supports. And the Quails, again, we've just seen them just flailing around here on this point. The bomb from Skyster, an absolute Hail Mary. Finds nothing to squish, not going to land on the Cat either, not even take a single bit of armor off this Reinhardt. And Skyster just flying around the pillar, trying to survive as long as they possibly can, but too much pressure from Invictus. And from Nathan, just too many beams. Paradox, a 3-man beat, however. Elko has a pulse bomb. If he can land this, it could turn this. Casino Rush engaged here from EJ as well. A lot of pressure. The pulse bomb finds nothing here. Rostigova dodges that one with the maneuvers, takes the ankles. And now Dawnwagger taking on EJ. Rostigova just taking Elko for a ride around the spawn. And we're going to say ourselves a tied map here on Samoa. And no answers from the Quails. They can't run the Ramatra comp, but we're going into the indoor position.
Yeah, I think this indoor is going to like help them a lot with that brawl style if they want to commit to it again. Or just be kind of more confident on what you want to do, because the amounts of swaps, especially late, just really hurt the Quails. And as something, you know, like, as two people that played the Lancers last match, you know, their comp is very annoying to deal with, you know, even if we had agreed to like a Rhyme Mirror. You know, Invictus and Dawn were for sure showing up in that match, and they're doing it here now too.
Again, the biggest surprise for me the last 2 weeks has been Invictus Echo. Where the hell has this been? You know, he's been the Ashe guy, the Cassidy guy, but all of a sudden shows off the mechanical skill on this Echo and pairing it with Dawnwagger in the sky as well on this Vara. You know, we know Dong is a really excellent Mei player, but showing some more flexibility from the DPS for Lancers, and they had a rough start to the season, but this new identity might just turn it around for them potentially for a late playoff push. Skycer going on deep here, but just too much healing, too much pressure from this pylon. And Skycer's alone right now. If they recognize this, they could just collapse on this Ramatra, but looks like has a form in time. Cat swinging around the wall is going to land, but she has the shield. She's just a slight little corner to get around. Looks like she'll stay alive. Invictus is in rough position, though, going around the coastline, trying to survive. And still, no picks gained for either team right now. Elko trying to find a headshot through the shield of Cat. Not going to do too much. Invictus flying around the sky. The point eventually flips for the Quails, and Skycer trying to take the space. Skycer flying low. Skycer taken down. But the Storm Arrow kill onto Invictus, but you got to think the trade for their mantra for the Echo is much better here as Cat just dives on in the back line. A hammer swings over onto Elko. Cat will eventually pay for it with their lives, but that might be the point flip here. Just Paradox trying to amp over on a point, stay alive, but Nathan landing in those shots close to Captain Sun already here. As you will get about 20% here for the Quails, but once again, the adaptations for Lance looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to deal with this Invictus and Dong with this Hanzo, as we saw. You know, like first map we got really amazing shots out of Elko onto Invictus, but that isn't happening anymore. So it's really calling for a cause of like maybe switching to that Cass or that Ashe with this comp.
Over to Ray, out from Rusty Goomba to begin this battle, and they're just gonna walk in here. Both support alts, the B from Paradox for the response, but a nice counter stun's gonna land and take away all that armor almost instantly. EJ's window as well, put a little too far forward on the point. Not getting too much value out of both those support alts. Elko here with the dragon, trying to clear some space, does find Cat, but Cat has a shatter. Should the shield go down? It's a big one! Cat 1 HP, but surviving through all this pressure through the healing of Rusty Goomba and Nathan. Elko finally taking down the exchange over on a Dawnwagger, but that might not be enough as Skyster running out of that form. Immortality perfectly placed out from EJ, keeps Skyster in this fight for just a couple more seconds here. Has the his form returning, but gone once again. Died to the Laurie left shift, and so many ults, but no progress gained, and Elko finally swaps to a hit scan.
Yeah, and I think that's going to help their comp tremendously. And as we're seeing those fights, we just got this copy kind of go through, and Invictus got to really show up. I'm not sure who he would want to copy. Probably that Ashe, but the use of this Mei and Ramult is going to be really helpful for the Quails to break through.
Nathan's pylon taken down almost instantly as the fight begins to break out. Annihilation here comes out. Dawnwagger finally exchanged, and Bitch is going aggressively here. Duplicates on to the Baptiste. I don't think that's who he wanted there. Look like he's going for potentially the Ram Atra, but yeah, a bit of an awkward position there as they're all clumped up in that little room, and the point will finally flip over. It is last fight territory for the Lancers. They have over to Ray, but walking into a blizzard.
Yeah, it's really up to Rue to just have this mail to counter this orbital strike here. EJ has this opportunity to just play really slow and just get window value, and it seems like they're playing for that. As we're seeing, they're pushing back of this point with EJ and Elko, so they're definitely gonna be playing with this this window here.
The Dynamite is going to blow up and find Dawnwagger, put a little pressure, but Invictus on this off angle, forcing Elko to retreat just a couple seconds here. And the point presence is gained. I mean, Elko finding some rockets, getting hit by Dawnwaggler. Eventually, Rue is going to use over on that Blizzard, and they're going to find Invictus and isolate that Echo. And it appears a quick reset is being called by the Lancers here. They used Window, they used Blizzard, so you can come back in here. You'll have, you know, Cat, Stun, and Shatter, but if they can get these kills, it could be devastating. It looks like they won't get out. Nathan falls. And now last fight for either side.
And that's the perfect fight for the Quails. Just going back into this next fight, having this Bob, and the only significant ult are the Shatter and this Captive Sun online. It's just really important for them to find Cat and make sure she can't close this distance and get the Shatter off.
Yeah, she's looking for one flame strike kill. Now Rue is kind of soloing on the objective, looking for this a great engage here. Bob in the back line. Rusty Goomba falling solo, and Cat taken down by Elko, and there you go, the quick engage on the side. And yeah, the Captive Sun is the only thing here, and that's not going to hit onto anybody as the Lancers gave their best shot, but the Quails eventually cap it up with a swap over on their new comp. But honestly, a much closer map than I think anybody could have expected coming in here.
100%. Like we talked about, Elko going to this Ashe really helped keep those Flyers in check. Even on that third map, we kind of saw how much Dong and Invictus here were able to like just work the map kind of basically for free and just get a lot of spam onto the Quails.
That being said, we'll send ourselves to a quick map break. Do not go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this short little break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
And welcome on back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6, Week 6 matchup between the Quantico Quails and the Lancelot Lancers. We had a bit of a close call for the Quails on Samoa against the Brawl comp, and now going on into Hollywood, wholesale comp sweeps from the Lancers, as we have Rusty back over on the tank, Invictus and Dongstick on the DPS, but Simply Dino and Cat are your new support line. And now, do we see, potentially a Sigma look? I know Rusty was known for that Winston, so maybe he's sticking on the attack, but the Quails kind of got to lock in here. They got a bit silly in the first map, but they got to show, kind of that difference in the power rankings here if they want to be respected. I know there's a lot of Quails players who they first saw the initial predictions are like rank 5. They're like, excuse me, we did this and mental gymnastics and whatever, and now they're playing it close to the Lancers. So I know that Nuttier was not too pleased with the Quails, chirping back, but they gotta lock in and improve themselves here on the Wisdom Mirror.
And this is the type of comp that we really need to see out of the Quails, because should be their bread and butter, at least in my opinion. This is usually what we see out of them when we kind of go to these maps. And even like you're talking about, like Skyster, that Winston player.
Self-proclaimed Winston one trick dives on in here, puts some pressure on the back line, but the bubble immediately taken on down. The burn on the Cry has to make them play a little bit slower, but Elko taking Invictus out of the sky. I gotta tell you, it is just so weird seeing an Ashe on Invictus' team that's not Invictus, but looks like a bit of a reset is being called by the Lancers, taking a bit slow. I mean, okay, Rusty didn't get the memo. He's going way deep into enemy territory with no backup. He actually just Leroy Jenkins some way over on towards his point. Sky's trying to get punished though. EJ TP's on in, and a very scrappy affair, and Rusty will spawn first. So potentially an overstep.
And that's going to be perfect for the Lancers to go quick and take this map space and force the Quails to retake this point unless Elko or someone can find a miracle pick here. And
Rusty, of course, with a perfectly timed body block on the Dynamite from Elko in that choke, doesn't allow him to get that pressure off. And Victus just gets smooshed by Skyseer, jumps in over to that cafe, and Elko reappears and starts popping heads, both supports down. As, yeah, despite that, Nathan's seen enough. He's going elsewhere as the Quails stabilize.
And yeah, they definitely need to make sure they play a lot slower there to ensure that they don't get stomped over there. And we do see Invictus and Dong switching that DPS lineup just to the mirror.
And Skyster and Rusty are going to exchange positions here on this high ground in this choke. Rusty's close to the primal Skyster already has, so Skyster can go very aggressive here, has this primal ready to pop. Really no ults for either team just outside these Winston's. Going aggressively here, Cat falls very low, Simply Down, trying to keep up the Elder support, but Skyster finds that kill, now goes even deeper with their Primal Rage. And the Lancers, and like I said, the bread and butter is being exposed right now. I mean, Paradox will be exchanged, but not nearly enough for the Lancers to take finding advantage. Skyster keeps going to spawn, Skyster with 4.
This has just been amazing on this Winston throughout this season. It just feels like highlight reel after highlight reel with, like what we've been seeing out of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what do you swap here to go potentially like a Brig look, because the Kiri Juno, it just appears Skyster is just kind of looking at his chops jumping in on that support line every time. To wait and see. Rusty Guba jumping in, has his Primal Rage here, but the Casino Rush off from EJ right down Main Street as Cat taking down once again. Rusty popping that Primal Rage, trying to get anything done over onto Elko, but gets kind of distracted with the Casino Rush speed. Skyster is falling very low, but the heals through the Casino Rush is simply too much. Elko with that Dynamite right through Main Street once again. Skyster half HP, forced retreat. But once again, Rusty Guba losing out on that Primal. It has to come back, use that bubble, and a small little reset once again once it called.
The real test is just how they're going to deal with the support ults from the Lancers here. Probably like just a beat stabilize and then eventually like Elko follow up with his Bob.
The Suzu is forced out here from Simply Dino as the Pulse Bomb from Kari doesn't find anything but does force that cooldown. They find Dong Waggler. Now here comes the Bob in the back line. The beat for sustain through Orbit Array from Cat. They can't use that, and yeah, this is kind of what we're expecting coming into this match, and we're seeing the Quails assert their dominance.
Yeah. And going into this next fight, they're going to be taking a lot slower, as we can see. Like Rusty going to this Diva. Going to be really trying to play through their backline a lot more, which I think is great. And then Cat switches to this Moira to finally try to find a recontest, but I'm just wondering, how are the Quails going to win this fight compared to having Simply Dino's ult, Invictus ult? It's going to be a tough fight here.
Be tough walking on in. Right is forced up on the. That's a good start though. As Dongwagger falls before they can use the Pulse Bomb. Consumer rush from Simply Dino. Skycer jumps right on into the car and gets taken on down. With Paradox in a pretty tough situation here in the choke, it appears they finally are going to cap point A. Pride trying to do something here, but getting chased down by Rusty Gooba in that cop car. So we'll survive and just kind of still be annoying here. The flip from Caswell over onto the Moira for lasting a touch. As Elko finds Simply Dino, so not done just yet. Skycer come back in with a touch. 10% towards his Primal Rage. Could flip this as Invictus falling low. Cry comes in both DPS for the Quails.
Oh,
Might be clutching this one now as EJ has the Casino Rush on towards his point. Invictus falling low, and Skycer jumps on and still has his Primal should they need it. And that might just be a last second hold. 96.6% is all the Lancers are going to have as the Quails clutch up.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I'm speechless. They just did an amazing job. Like Elko at the start of the fight, just been a significant player. Like you mentioned, just showing why he's like that finals MVP and just MVP overall, you know, like the other previous season. And then just the eventually Quails just going even deeper, just making it really scrappy, especially when you know you're going to die like Skycer. Skycer just knew he was going to die. I'm going to go try to take someone out with me. And it allowed the rest of his team to stabilize.
And I'll see if there's adaptations here from the Lancers, and the Hog is being shown here from Rusty Gooba, and he's walking out of spawn on this Roadhog, so it appears we are running this Roadhog. Maybe expecting, you know, the Winston retaliation on the attack, but Skycer appearing to play 5D chess with the man is going back to the Ramatra. And Invictus...
Someone's got to call stream sniping. I'm pulling up the red card. Skycer, get out of here.
Now, hold on. I'm actually in the creator dashboard. I can check who's currently viewing. Obviously, he knows, but... The Reaper guy, too. Maybe they're thinking a Diva's going to be sticking here for Rusty Goomba, but maybe Rusty Goomba's in fact the one playing 5D chess. They're expecting a Diva. I'm going to go Roadhog, which is just
all they're going to do is just they're going to TP and just force this point. I'm calling it.
I mean, which is just absolutely terrible, but he's showing up. We've got the funny comp. We have Dong Waggler on the door, the Hog from Rusty. Hook is going to hit the Elko, so there you go. Now, you just have to do it for 4 more minutes. Just that exact same interaction for 4 straight minutes. Elko, we got...
Yeah, now we're gonna see the Quails fall off. Just kind of more of this spam, which is great.
But now you gotta get through. I'll say Don Wagner is gonna find a pick, and you gotta do another comp switch. It'll be like the second point of Samoa all over again. They'll eventually run out of time, and obviously this is what the Lancers are playing for. They're playing for this. They've done bot reviews. They've got this in the bag. And Victus just refusing to move, just a stalwart, finding 2 in the high ground here. Thought he found a third, but just simply a pylon, and a minute's already off the clock, and the Quails are, again, contemplating for his ultimates, but you can't get too comfortable.
You know, all we gotta make sure is just take a clean fight. I'm just really worried right now that Skycer is taking all the space when their team's not even ready.
Oh, the hook from Mr. Guba not quite gonna land.
Breaks.
It did hit, but just not long enough. And Elko tries to find Invictus once again, but Invictus playing the stairwell. They know he's there. Invictus gonna take him down, but they find Skycer. So it's a 1-for-1 here, tank for DPS. Especially with the Roadhog is basically another DPS on their team, and now they're just hard rushing this high ground here, trying to force Elko out. Looks like they'll do just that, but Rusty was up there. The hook is gonna find EJ. If they can just survive, they cannot give another pick here, as Elko just going up and forth on these rooftops, looking like Batman out here. But Cat has to get out here alive. Cat 1 HP. No, Cat falls to the storm arrows. And Victor's returning this battle, just so scrappy from both these teams. High Noon gonna be readily available here. The Dragon not gonna hit. Don Wagler was, I believe, just like an inch underneath that. And Victor's on this high ground, but Elko finding both DPS. Whole hog.
Holy Elko.
Out from Musagumba, and yeah, Elko says, I'm done playing Hollywood. I want to go to map 3. Finds 3 quick kills with the bow, and now Cat's in a really tough position here. 1v1 against Elko. Try and take this one. Elko half HP. The storm arrow is there. Cat is just stat padding. Not going for the touch. And yeah, nobody's going to go for that one. The solo flux from Skycer finalizes that. And despite a good looking start, Elko clutches up once again.
Yeah. Elko's just looking fantastic this series. And that's just the big thing with this team, is just being able to go crazy like we're watching.
Yeah.
Holy.
Again, like I said, it appears the 0.1 millisecond doesn't seem to be really affecting him all that much. That being said, Lancers are going to have to pull off a reverse sweep to bring it to their second win of the season and continue their hot streak, but do they have it in them? Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after a short break. And welcome on back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6, Week 6 matchup between the Quantico Quails and the Lancelot Lancers, where the Quails kind of asserting dominance on the last map of Hollywood, really showing no signs of slowing down on that dive look, and now we're being taken to the notorious Clash, a game mode that we haven't seen very often so far in Aurora, but we know Kat's a big fan of it, big proponent, and she can play that Reinhardt on it, and we'll see. We got kind of like the same look we had on map 1, but when we saw the brawl versus brawl on this team on Samoa, it didn't look very clean. So we'll see if Clash and the chaos it brings can bring them some hope.
Yeah. And we are seeing more of this kind of like Juno, Alari type comps with most likely Nathan and Invictus are going to be finding like an angle to play on. Also, yeah, I hate the bug on this map when it just goes to like a new game mode. Overwatch 1 didn't have it, just like gives you the arcade quick heal or HP pool.
Very fun. Well, hopefully EJ can fix this momentarily. He is, of course, lobby lead. Nah, you just... We'll see if we can fix it live on stream. Why not? Okay. Competitive rules are enabled. Dun dun dun. I know you can do it too, but I haven't done it for Clash yet. I wonder if I just go into... We'll just put in competitive mode and we'll say no stats for Clash. Anoka. Hopefully that fixes it. I'll obviously have my minions go through and do the stats manually like we used to in Overwatch League, back when we were a real esport. You're lucky you weren't around for that. Counting symmetric TPs, counting shatter victims. Yeah, it was a good time.
Wait.
We used to do stats.
You would have to count that stuff?
We did stats manually. Yeah.
Oh no.
Back in the day. All right, let's see if we fixed the health pools.
Yes, we have.
Cool beans. And now it's time to give EJ back his lobby. Because I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, we got the Reinhardt look from the Lancers that we saw, of course, on the ever map the Catson, but kind of a mirror we saw on Samoa, and again, the Quails really had no problems dealing with this, but Dong, I don't know if Dong was on the far the whole time. I think Dong might have kind of played a little more Mei, some Ashe, so slightly different look. See if they can clutch this one up with the double flyer coming in over to Clash on Hanoka. Of course, Clash, a very chaotic game mode, which could, the Quails are comm-based teams, but the Lancers might just take advantage of the chaos of Clash and lack of practice for many teams. Though the Flyers are having a tough position here in the inside position, they'll just keep constantly bonking their heads on the inside. Nathan's pylon taking on down, but Donglager finding a spot, just pelting some damage over on towards Elko and the backline on this rotation. But going aggressively is going to be Skyster, just taking the space away from the Lancers to flip the map right back at them, and allows Elko to clean up these kills on double flyer, taken down through the Hounds of all people. And yeah, that will be a point flip going over towards the Quails. And yeah, the comm-based structure looking pretty good there on the flip map call.
Yeah, no, that flip map and rotate just was amazing. And if Invictus gets found out early, this might lead to another cap point for the Quails.
Speaking of quick kill, Elko down first. Skyster going aggressively, but Invictus still in the backline, sets his sights over on towards Paradox. Paradox just trying to get out with their lives like they will. Did fall prey. Irritable is forced early from the Quails, and Cat just charges on in. And yeah, Paradox down. And boy howdy, I love Clash. Here comes the back and forth as we're going to go right back towards point C.
Yeah, all we gotta say is make make sure we're just keeping those angles in check. They did such an amazing job at that on first, but getting a little bit too focused on that Invictus kill there.
And here's a slight adaptation for Lancers here as well for their Flyers, just going all around the coast, not even messing with the building right now. As Don is pelting in some damage. Elko's 1 HP, make that 0. They're gonna exchange though onto Rusty Gooba, the pin, the wall not gonna land as Dongwago using that barrage. Annihilation from Skyster, trying to clutch one up. Looks like he might just do that with 2 kills. The pin in from Cat. The shatter. But sadly, it's just her. There's no follow-up, and the Annihilation still works when he's on the ground. Looks like they might try for another contest here, actually. With the Pharah, with the Orbit Array.
Yeah.
Oh, nice slow.
But Dong is getting exploded.
And Elko just shuts him on down with a headshot. And it was looking doable for the side of the Lancers, but eventually just Skycer with a huge annihilation cleans that one up.
All right, now we're back in the same position. Will the Quails just kind of make sure they, kind of push an angle and not die? And yes, we will see
but
this early ult come out.
Rue falling here. Now the duplicate out from Invictus. Forces the beat from Paradox, but didn't land on a Skycer, and now down your tank will make it pretty tough here. Invictus showing off those palm punch. As Elko does eventually find both supports of his own, but the point will probably go the way of the Lancers once again. As a nice duplicate from Invictus comes onto the Ramatra. Man,
yeah, and trying to retake these points is gonna be very hard because naturally the defensive advantage, especially having these angle comps, it's just gonna be very difficult for the side of the Quails to retake. But now we're just back in the normal. Just all they gotta do is just play this high ground, force the run retaking them.
Dragon just right down Main Street. Rostigo 1 HP. The pin, though, from Cat takes the Blizzard out of the fight. That might just be the clutch they need. Elko hit the Captain's Son in the air time field, trying to stay as long as possible here. Rostigo goes off the map. We're going to lose out on that. Both Paradox. It's just so scrappy from both these teams. Elko saves EJ's life. The focusing beam shut on down. Cat solo. Skycer with the palm punches goes right through that shield. Skycer once again trying to clutch for the team. As Rue has returned to the battle. Has Blizzard. Might need to use it here from Nathan. Roasting will return to the fight. Skycer with another nemesis form. Pylon taken on down. But the only ultimate here ready to go is going to be this Blizzard from Rue. It looks like a bit of a quick reset right now for the Quails. It looks to re-engage on this. Elko swaps to this Tracer. Puts more pressure over on the back on Dongwagger close to this barrage. They have to use the ultimates here. Invictus eventually falls. Blizzard from Rue will get the toes of Dongwaggler and beat him in the freak off right now. As despite the early picks coming in, the recontest from the Quail is just too much, and we're once again going to point D.
That's the worst part about this. It's just C, D, C, D, C, D, and then sometimes they'll be all right, they cap.
But the thing is, if if the
C
Lancers win
B,
C once, they
B,
probably
C.
win the map. Elko solo barraged over onto the side there. We caught that in all of its glory as Dongwagger shuts down the Tracer, but I think Elko will have another touch here with the team before the cap really goes over. Yeah, it looks like he just respawned.
Yeah, and all they gotta do is just open with this EJ window and hopefully touch point, but Cat has this amazing shatter to just look for it.
Trying to find anything here. This shield eventually will fall. The run on the backline from Cat finds two over on the shatter. Takes down Rue. EJ falling low as well, but Time is just in time, and now Skycer comes in for the peel. 2 kills. As Nathan falls low as well. The pylon not there for the health. Dongwagger in the sky falling low, trying to pelt the enemy team full of damage. The Quails are surviving through all this EJ. Finally, it appears we're going to see another point here. We're going to point E.
Oh my god, finally! Finally a different sub-map.
And they might get page here as well. Cat flying low, stuck in this little area, trying to take down Skycer in his nemesis form. Gets the pin away. Roasting Kuba low though, has to use it over to Ray here. Can't use it as Elko gets the kill. Pulse bomb whiffed. As they're gonna find that kill once again. And this is just chaos. That's all I can say, Clash. What a map.
With how low the Quails are, I just doubt it's gonna really be useful for them. Paradox has the option to use his beat, but falls to the sun damage off of Skycer actually there.
Yeah, I mean, you get the cap to some out, so not the end of the world, especially for capping that later point over on this map. Rue just zoned in on that pylon and eventually gets the kill. But now we're back over on towards point D, and this might come down to a mid fight here in C to take the map.
Yeah, it almost might as well. It's gonna be very hard to find the value with the only beat coming out here.
Skycer goes aggressively here with the over to Ray, but Dongwagger taken down in the barrage, and now so many ults being thrown out here right now from the Lancers, and you'll take this if you are the Quails, because you gotta win one more fight here. The Bob the Wall breaks and gonna lock on these supports. They're flying low. Immortal Field is forced out. The burn is big. Cat can't build the shatter in time. Skycer walks in Annihilation. Might just clutch up once again on this Ramatra. And they might just have got their 5th and final point and taken the series in 3-0 sweep. Who knows? Cat can get back in time for a shatter. Dongwagger caught in those Nano Swarm. EJ falls, so still doable here, but Invictus stuck in that Blizzard. Rue is lighting up this kill feed right now. The pin from Cat finds Skyster, but can she get the kills? Like she'll get one, but that's just a stat pad at this point. Luckily, we're not tracking stats as Elko gets behind the shield and takes down that Reinhardt, and Clash goes the way of the Quails, and a 3-0 sweep over the Lancers.
Yeah, what a very dominant showing from the Quails. Like, it's just really impressive overall. Just like, even though there's like a few hiccups on that last map to make it that close, it's honestly, I think it's gonna come down to the game mode, but as well, the Lancers comp are just like, it's pretty amazing on this on these types of maps too. Just going on that defenses, having those angles being played.
Yeah, and now we got to come up with, you know, an MVP for the Quails, and honestly, you give it to any player on the team. I have someone in my mind of who I want to give it to, but I'll let you speak first and see if we align.
I don't know. It's just like hard to say because it's always like the same roles, you know. For me, like the very showing players were just Skyster and Elko that entire series, right? But to say who really hedged it out is gonna like come into comms and, you know, comms based team, right? So I'm kind of leaning into just the Skyster or even Elko. Both are just amazing picks for the series, in my opinion.
Good, because Skyster's my pick. Just because, you know, I remember the Winston as well in Hollywood was kind of the game changer on his aggression and kind of just leveling the playing field and basically shutting down Cat, not allowing him to get too much. So we'll go ahead and bring him in for a quick interview. And
Greetings.
well, hello, greetings.
He even has the greetings intro.
Greetings, Skyster. Congrats on the victory, going to 5-1 on the season. You know, just initial thoughts after a fairly clean showing after against the Lancers today.
I don't like that comp. That comp is not very fun to play Ramatra into.
I imagine playing Ryan into it. It's even funner.
Well, at least I can hold shield then. It's
All right.
I can only punch Reinhardt, which is like punching nothing basically. But yeah.
What you got, Neptune?
I guess for me is like how are the comms like working, because like something like I pointed out during that series is just like there was a fight where they have like 3 ults. They have like Kitsune, Bob, and Pulse, and Alco just finds an amazing pick to shut down their Tracer, but you inevitably like just like realize you're low, you can't get stabilized, and you go trade backline, and it almost like prevents and zones their team for a while, even though you inevitably die, which I think was just like an amazing play that allowed you guys for that retake on Hollywood there.
I was just in tick. Oops, it was not planned. I was just in tick. I'm just an inter, but it was good. It worked out, so that's good. Luckily, my team was able to live. As I was inting, I was like, "Oh, I'm inting. Just play to live, and we can get a recontest in because I'm like in their spawn." So, as like, I don't know if anyone plays like League, but like the Baus, that was basically what I just did. Fucking just went into their spawn so that half their team looks at me, and then at least my team can do things.
Yeah, no, it definitely looked like that way to help your team just be able to like, get that recontest out. And I think it's just like a great call too to try to trade that fight. You know, you guys come back quicker with your ults, or not even ults, but it should just make for an easy recontest or easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, before SL Classico, I got another one. It's just, you know, going on forward in the season here, you know, looking ahead, you guys should probably be favored in just about every single game remaining on the board, except for potentially your last one against the Roosters. So I just kind of want your initial thoughts. Is there any team, you know, you're kind of looking out for on your schedule remaining aside from the Roosters, or are you just feeling confident you can bring this big momentum you guys got going right now into the playoffs?
Yeah, Roosters are probably like the scariest. I think the Roosters and the Sea Dragons are kind of on a like similar level for me right now. Like it just depends on the day who would win. Yeah, I mean, that's my perspective. I mean, we've had like a tough schedule. Okay. It feels nice to get our first 3-0 because our team, for some reason, cannot be 3-2 against teams that we should not be 3-2 against. So it's nice to to actually like there's a lot of like Quails doubt or hate or whatever, and it's almost like it's hard because I can't even argue against it because we did go 3-2 against like a winless
The
team.
Oblivious
like,
Owls, the Kappa.
yeah, the Kappas. Like it feels bad because I can't even argue against it because yeah, we did, but I mean I still think our team is really good. So.
And a lot of I feel like when people do have those Quails like talks, it's usually about like, oh, are they locked in for their match? Yes, no, and then I was listening to some of the podcasts earlier before this match even, and like that was like a main debate about like how serious are they like during those matches too.
Yeah. I mean we were pretty serious during the Quails, or we were trying. Or not the Quails,
During the Quails match, yeah, you guys were serious for that one.
In the Quails match, yeah. We had like two players who were had deathly fevers. Both of our backline had the same. Seikana and Rayleigh both were sick. And it was like this really bad cold that's been going around the NAU campus. But so like that one, and we were also down Cray, and so we forced dive. We probably should have gone 3-1 because I played a dive map again, even though we didn't have our dive DPS. Not the smartest decision by me, but we were taking that map seriously. And then against the Owls, it felt like a lot of our team was a little distracted. Like everyone just felt kind of distracted, and I was almost a little frustrated. Like at second map or like third map, I was a little frustrated. I was like, bro, we are losing. Team, lock in. And so then we clutched up, we locked in, we squeezed it out. So.
And of course,
I guess one more question for me is just kind of like, who are like the other teams that you're like really looking out for? Like not even like the remaining that you play, but just like in general.
Probably the Purple Apes. I mean, the Purple Apes match was really close. I was also sick that game, so more cope I'm throwing around. I got lots of that to throw. But they're basically like a scrim partner for us at this point. We scrimmed them like 3 or 4 times, and it's always been super close or like us favored. So, that team, it's just like the Apes. I feel like is like a day-to-day thing, like how people are playing on that day. Like we're a really even team, I think, with them. I don't know how to feel about the Froggers. I feel like the Froggers are a little bit overrated, in my opinion, just because like they haven't played against super great teams, and I don't know how to feel about them. So, and like I feel like they're a team that like they don't like that they have a lot harder of a time locking in with like looking at some of their players or locking in, but like as the season goes on, I think they'll get worse overall. So yeah.
So Purple Apes on top is what you're saying, is what I concluded.
Like Purple Apes. Yeah. I think the Roosters could be difficult, but I also don't really have a point of reference for them because I like both the Froggers and the Roosters have like played on like the opposite side of a sphere from us, so I don't have like any good like point of reference. Like if there's a circle and I don't know like the top and the bottom of the circle, and I'm on the left side and they're on the right side, so I just don't have a point of reference of like how good they are. And I kind of just like avoided them, like bring around the rosy with like people like.
With scrims,
yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely that's how I feel about the league too. It's just like a lot of people like have like a circle of scrims, and then the other one has their circle of scrims too, and it just comes with schedules lining up.
Yeah. So my bad. Everyone always complains about the 9 p.m. matches. Might be partly my team's fault. I don't think we've had like a weekday from 5 to 7 where we've had more than 2 people.
Well, who's playing the game at 5 o'clock? Who's doing that? We just want to.
Oh, sorry, 5 for my time. Sorry.
Okay,
so,
yeah, we just want
7 CST.
Yeah, we just want an 8 o'clock game, man. We're done with the 10. I mean, I'm not saying we're done with it because they're coming on Monday, but we're done with your team messing around to the midnight oil, man. But with that being said,
to be fair, they've all been 9. This is the earliest match we've had.
Guy asked about
I thought we were gonna be down more people. I scheduled this game thinking I'd be down Rue, Elko, and I didn't think I'd be down Say, but then Say, as soon as I scheduled it, was like, oh yeah, I can't come, and so luckily Elko and Rue could also show up. So, yeah.
Gotta ask El Clasico. If you cannot be MVP of the game tonight, who'd you go on your team and why?
I'm gonna just have to go with Elko. He kills things. He helps the comms a lot. He's a big macro player. I think he's the one like that helped us like swing against that comp. Like they played the same comp on the first and second or third map, and like it was a lot harder for us on the first map. And then like he was the one that helped us like figure out, okay, we need to stop shooting at the Reinhardt, even if like it feels bad to just sprint at their Aurora 10 miles away. You just need to do it, and yeah. So yeah.
Well, once again, thanks for joining us for the interview, and best of luck the rest of the season, and hope to speak to you again soon.
Yep. See you then. Bye bye.
All right, with that being said, yeah, that's going to do it for us here in Neptune. We had a pretty quick game, nice little 3-0. We got a little closer on Samoa, but eventually the Quails, like we said, locked in and kind of sent the Lancers packing. And looking ahead, our next game is going to be on, we have 2 games on Monday, one at 7, one at 10. We know for sure the 10 o'clock one's game Pride, not sure about 7, but keep your eyes on the Discord server. Of course, if you're not in that, you can join below in the links on our Twitch description. Well, thank you all so much for watching. For Neptune, I've been Booney. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you for